Good morning, everyone. My name is Sumesh Pathak, Assistant Professor, Department of Management Studies, Uttarakhand Open University. Today, the lecture we are going to study or read about is on enterprise registration process. So, before going on further, we need to understand what actually an enterprise is. A business or a group that undertakes commercial, industrial, or professional activities is called an enterprise. So, depending on the context and then the content, the expression can be used to describe a wide range of entities, from small entrepreneurs or enterprises to massive corporation. So, what is enterprise? First, it focuses on generating revenue and defining a specific function. Second, it operates with a defined organizational structure. Third, it ranges from a small to global corporation. Fourth, it can be privately owned, publicly listed, or under a cooperative model. Why is registration of an enterprise that important? We need to understand this. So, the legally binding process of formally acknowledging a business as an entity with rights, obligations, and legal standing is known as enterprise registration. It provides a business with a unique identity, legal recognition, and the ability to operate in compliance with the local or the regional law. How does it help? First, it provides with a legal recognition. Legal recognition involves formally registering the business according with the appropriate national or state regulations. It could entail establishing a legal company or obtaining licenses and permit to operate within the prescribed area or region. First, it provides enterprise with a formal identity. Now, since your company is registered legally, it has been given a national recognition or state recognition. It has been given a formal identity to operate. It also enables to get into contracts, open accounts, and become eligible to pay taxes. Obviously, if you're opening a company, the company will go into contracts, will open the account because it has to give salaries to the employees who are working for the company. And also, if the salary, if the company is paying salary to the people, that means it's earning profit, and any profitable business has to pay taxes to the government. Third, proper registration ensures compliance with local and national regulations, safeguarding your business from legal repercussions. What is the government benefit that it gets? First, it gets financial assistance, incentives, grants, loans, subsidies, and skill building initiatives are all examples of the government support that it may get depending upon the nature of activities an enterprise is operating. Second, it provides access to specific programs for small and medium sized businesses, that is SMEs we call it. It provides incentives for exports to promote global trade. Like there would be some enterprises that would be exporting some of the local grown products to the outside nation or to outside the peripheral boundaries. So it provides the incentives for going out with the exports as well. Third, it takes efforts for mentorship and training. Now, third one is intellectual property protection. IP protection safeguards the enterprise's creations, innovations, and brand identity through trademarks, copyrights, patents, or trade secrets. How? It prevents products, designs, or brand names from being used or imitated without permission from the sole or the person who has actually applied for it. Second, it increases competitive advantages and market value of the specified product. Third, it makes possible source of income and licensing opportunities easier to access. Now the last one is enhanced credibility. It works on compliance to legal and regulatory requirements. It ensures openness in operational and financial processes. It helps in gaining the trust of customers and building a powerful brand. A registered business establishes trust and credibility, fostering confidence among potential customers and partners. How? Like you've seen that you are being, I've always been seeing the company like Tata, Adani, Ambani. Why are the products that is being sold by the company so available in every other market? Because the people or customers have accepted it because it has a brand value and the companies are registered legally to operate in the field. Okay. Now, to understand what are the kind of enterprises one can open or one can work for, the first one is sole proprietorship. As the name signifies, a sole proprietorship is an unincorporated. That means no need it should, need not be registered and need not have a corporation. It can be without the registration as well. It can work without the registration as well. Business with one owner. There is no legal separation between the company and the owner. Like, it means that if the legal owner of the company is receiving all the profits, then that person again is liable for all the debts and losses his firm faces. A sole proprietorship is the easiest type to establish and a popular choice for small businesses, individual contractors, and consultants. So, what are the perspectives? First, the initial cost of setting up a sole proprietorship is easy. The complete control is to an individual. Tax filing is simple since the paperwork is less, the people involved are less. That's why. The consequences might be unlimited personal liability and difficulty in raising capital. Like, what is seen as a strength can be seen as a weakness as well, because here the complete control of an individual is also making the person liable to have his unlimited personal liability. So what is an asset for him might turn into a liability as well if the functioning of the proprietorship does not work well. The second one is partnership. A partnership is a formal arrangement by two or more parties to manage and operate a business and share its profits. What are the perspectives? The financial burden is shared. The access to knowledge and experience is accessible to the partnership firms. The decision making is better and it's very easy to initiate since the two partners are involved with the same aligned goals that they have in mind. The consequences is issues in splitting profits. Of course, when two or three person, more than two people are involved, the profits sharing becomes an issue. Then encountering disagreements, coming to a conclusive decision, it becomes difficult when two minds are operating on a single thing. Then we have is limited liability company. LLCs are important legal structures for forming a business. Limited liability means that the assets and debts of the business remain separate from the personal assets and debts of the LLC's owners. In most cases, if an LLC goes bankrupt, creditors can only go after the assets of the business and not of the owners, right? So, what are the perspectives? Limited liability, as the name suggests, less paperwork, easy to form, credible, and flexible management. The consequences would be difficult to transfer ownership, confusing roles, and it has a limited life. The third one is corporation. A corporation and its owners, or what do we call, we can also call them as shareholders, are two different legal entities. It is created by registering with a government agency and it functions legally as an autonomous person with the ability to enter into contracts, possess property, incur debts, and pay taxes, and also earn profits. What are the perspectives? Limited liability, easy transfer of ownership, stocks open to public, and attractive to investors and employees. The consequences would be it's expensive to establish, it's heavily regulated since it is regulated under the name or under under the corporation. It's a legal entity under a separate name, and the formation is also a little complicated as compared to the other previous two. Then we have cooperative. The word cooperative means to work together and cooperate with each other. Similarly, in a cooperative society, a group of people forms a voluntary association to benefit the members and work for the betterment of society, especially for the weaker sections. The perspectives would be limited liability, easy to form, it's stable, equality in voting right. Since it's a cooperative kind of thing, so everybody is equally responsible to vote for a particular thing, and it gets support from the government as well. Consequences would be conflicts and duties, lack of privacy, government control, and limited resources. Like, there's a very big, very good example of cooperative. I would tell you that's you might have heard of Amul, Anand Milk Udyog Limited. That the Amul brand is owned by a cooperative agency. It's called GCMFF, Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, right? So it's not a single entity owned by a single individual. 3.6 million farmers own that company. There are shareholders for the company, Amul. Okay, so this is example of the cooperative ones. Now, what is the importance of registering an enterprise name? First is a distinctive name sets the company out from the competition. It provides with exclusive rights to the name in the particular jurisdiction and guaranteed by the legal jurisdiction that the name cannot be copied by any other one if it is being used as a legal under the legal production by a particular individual. It prevents trademark abuse and disputes around the intellectual property, and it increases confidence with customers and credibility. Second is type of business name registrations. First one is legal entity name. A formal name that the government recognizes and that your company uses is registered at the time of establishing the firm. It guarantees that the same cannot be used by another registered business in the same jurisdiction. B. Doing business as. That's called DBA. It also known as a trade name or fictitious name or using a pseudonym. It allows a business to operate under a name different from its legal entity name. Okay, understand this. For example, there is a legal entity named as ABC Enterprises LLC. It can register a DBA, a doing business name, under as ABC Consulting or ABC Enterprise, any other name that the company wants. So that's called using a trade name or fictitious name or a pseudonym for the operating functions. Then we have trademark. It protects the brand name, emblem, logo, slogan, both domestically and abroad. Like the company Domino's, Facebook, Walmart, their logos, emblems, taglines cannot be copied because they are trademarked. They have trademarked it. It permits the sole right to utilize the trademark in particular sectors or services. It is important for enterprises seeking to join competitive markets to grow globally. Then we have domain name. It secures your online presence by registering a domain name for your website that corresponds to the business identity. Like Facebook, as the name suggests, people go to the Facebook to connect to each other. Like the domain name has to be very accessible and very easily understandable to the people that reflects your business identity. For instance, setting up abccompany.com for a company called ABC Company, it's very easy. People are able to understand it because as the name reflects the domain name, right? So domain name should not be very different or very unaware or very without any connection with the company's basic goals and objectives. It also ensures that consistency between online and offline marketing is carried out. Now, the steps to register an enterprise. First, name availability. Then you have to verify the domain name. Then you have to file for registration. Then you have to wait for the approval of the filing.